Good morning. Selamat pagi. It is 10:30 a.m. here in Malaysia. I was supposed to come on stream about half an hour ago, and then something went off with my internet. So today is gonna be a day where I talk about how we deal with unexpected events. Because the internet going down for me is quite a big issue. Why? You might all remember that my server actually runs locally here at home. So when the internet goes down at home and I haven't prepared a backup solution for the internet, it then means that my trading server goes offline. So that is something that I need to put into my to-do list and an upgrade for later so that I have a failover should anything happens. My internet still stays connected. My trading server doesn't go down. So point to note, point taken. And today we're running the stream off of our iPad. So good iPad. I think we're getting like 80 megs of upload speed. But I'm looking at the stats in OBS here and we are dropping quite a few frames. So don't worry, fret not. We will be uploading a recording of this later on as well, should the stream turn out to be very choppy. Now, on to the agenda for today. I'm here for my pre-session. Let's not forget that. So let's head on straight into the routine. We finished last week strong. Let's have a quick overview of what we did last week. We had a sleazy Monday last week, and then it got better. Scorecard wise, we were quite consistent throughout the week. So this is something that I want to carry into this week, is that I want to make sure my scoring is high. My habits, meaning the things I do around the things that I can do for my trading routine, is important. So I've been skipping a bit of the morning routine and kind of sort of putting it later into the day. Partly why I only begin my pre-session at 10 o'clock instead of much earlier. So 10:30 means I should already be done with my pre-session now. So the fact that we're only turning 10:30 means maybe like half an hour late. But nevertheless, we make our own time. So the first declaration I want to do today right now is, due to my trading terminal going down, my internet at home going down, I will not be taking an Asia trade. Not for this session. I'm unable to enter the trade because the server is down. So all my copies are wiped out. So I'm going to have to wait until my next reset point, which is London. And that gives me a bit of a relief. I will check that later once the server comes back online. But at least I know now I'm not going to rush for the 11 o'clock Asia Open. I'm going to read the market. I'm going to let the market play out. And then we're going to come back at London session and decide whether we're going to go in at all today. Sometimes when life goes against you, you just want to flow with it. You don't have to force your way. And I found that to be rather true for trading, because sometimes life just happens and you just want to take life a little bit easy on yourself. You don't have to go 100% everywhere. And if it gives you a break, it gives you a break. So half an hour ago, I was kind of stressed out. I was like, how am I going to do my pre-session? How am I going to stream this? We are streaming it, thank goodness. And I'm not stressed out right now because I've made a few decisions already. My process kicked into play. I want to share with you what happened this morning. Like, usually I'll be frustrated. I'll start grumbling at the wife will grumble back at me, and then we start another fight there. So that didn't happen today, thank goodness. So what actually happened? She needed help. I helped her. It's little things like that that makes me feel better about my ability to handle myself in the market. And because my mind was clear, I was going to be like, hey, you only get 2 trades today. Either you go Asia or you go London. When the internet's down, you can't go Asia no matter what. You can't force your way into Asia. So what do you need to do instead? Focus on the pre-session. As long as I get a recording done, whether it's live or whether I upload it post, it gets done. I'm going to verbalize what I'm going to do today. And today, I still want to go into one trade. but it looks like I'm going to have to get the right trade for London instead of going for Asia. And there are also reasons for us not going in Asia, because as the market I will read the market with you later, my edge is not really present at Asia at the moment. So I can see that ding 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 like a checklist, but I don't anymore. Something happened with the internet. Hopefully we're still online with the stream. But detachment from the outcome. That's something that is rather present at this moment. I shared with you guys over the weekend about being detached from the 3 losses and then coming back with the 2, and then now we just have to go fresh again. I think that's really the same feeling I have now, especially after having that little excitement earlier. It takes take my mind off some things, you know. It takes my mind off the need to like, hey, we're gonna look for the next winner. We're gonna make sure the next trade we do is gonna be like 10-10, you know. It will be a 10-10 when it is a 10-10, but you don't force a 10-10. Sometimes you gotta take the 8s, sometimes you gotta take the 7s. As long as you have the edge with you. Even 51.49 is an edge, but I don't usually use that edge. I keep myself above 70, above 75% most of the time. So anticipate C game triggers. And that's the other point, because sometimes I get too picky. Again, Mr. Hesitancy. I don't want to pull the trigger. So this, me deferring in Asia, is not due to the fact that I'm hesitant. It's due to the fact that we have a technical difficulty. And in situations like this, it's better to err on the side of caution. You don't want to make a mistake for the sake of keeping the machinery going, keeping the business going. I gotta make sure I work, because that is contra to your belief of running a system. A systems check involves maintenance, it involves review, it involves constant keeping up of the equipment. You know, when the equipment goes wrong, you have to be there to step in to maintain it. You don't go calling tech support or wishing somebody's gonna show up with a tow truck, you know. You just deal with it. So that, back to our DSC, distractions remove. My boys are back in school, so bit of a smile. It's good to see them go back to school. I appreciate that as well. And they would appreciate going to school to learn and then spend time with their peers. Let's go into our forecast and tick off our pre-market once and for all. To the left, to the left. Okay, so this is Monday. We've marked it with the orange line here. And we also marked the weekly open here. And as we can all see, the week of the range is a Monday-Tuesday range. And we are still trading within last week. Even trading below Friday high. When you're looking at Monday high, yes, we're trading above, but when I look specifically on my MA, that's telling me that we've got a few more hours before the real decision happens. And should the price come back to the 9, we will expect a little bit of a sideways day before it pushes up. Of course, the fact that the price comes back down itself does not mean that we're looking for a sell. On the contrary, because the price is above this high, I would like to make that as my first sort of barrier for going down. So any sells above Thursday high, any buys above Thursday highs will be 10-10, you know? So that's why, as I was saying just now, it was a white candle while I was starting the stream, but I knew that as soon as Asia formed, it would form somewhat of a long wicks. And that only means two things. It's either going to hang about and wait for the MA to catch up, or it's going to go down and meet the MA. In which case, me trying to rush a trade, trying to take a trade before 11 o'clock, rush this stream, finish off this recording, just for the sake of finishing the recording, I think, no, I'm not going to compromise my whole week. I'm not going to make myself upset because I've been rushing on Monday morning. That's the last thing we want. So we can sit here and appreciate that this is our first execution window at 0600 in the chart. The next trading session will be at 1300, which is 7 hours away. So that gives me a lot more time to get into the flow, get in sync with the market, and verbalize my commitment on where I will take my trade. So the way we mark out the market is based on Asia zones. And every Asia zone is a sort of point of interest, you might say. So this point of interest has been hit. That's why the first best buy would be around that level, 36.81, and the second one would be at 36.75. So it's going to be about a 50 to 80 pip drop before price goes back up, in my opinion. Hence, therefore, today we're looking for actually 183 pips of price movement for Asia and 186 for London. It's going to be there or thereabouts. 183. Yeah, it's the same for both. So on last week, you saw that we didn't go all Asia or all London. And the fact that we were alternating between the two probably caused us a little bit of less profits. It is what it is. I'm not going to complain. I know for a fact that this system's result is an 80% win rate in the long term. So it is possible that I hit 2 back-to-back losses in the system, because this one is an error on my part. So these two are system losses. And it's fine. It's totally fine, because I'm going to get back into that rhythm of 80-20, 80-20. So this just is an anomaly because my sample size is just small. So similar to here, even when I take the buy here, I'm not going to be worried that, oh, it's going to go into a drawdown and it's going to turn back down and I'm going to have to exit. Should I need to exit, I'm going to have to exit. I will exit. That's the thing I'm very confident about now because of this commitment I have to the video. So wherever this candle lands, we're going to have to draw it high and low and form out this Asia zone and just watch the price happen. So I'm a buyer for today. I'm expecting that the price will at least hit the top of Tuesday or even that wick from Wednesday again, as the price has been coming from the open of our last week high. So ideally we want to see price consolidate above the MA, and hopefully the MA just continue into this Asia zone and above the weekly high open, and then we have a clear zone upwards during London. All right, so let's change the scenes. So forecasting, A+ plan, visualize outcomes, and in sync with the process. So today we are going to wrap this session up. We're over time. We're supposed to keep this short and simple. But I feel that in the beginning of the week, we do need to set our minds on what we're going to do for the week. We're going to do the same processes and focus on the intention of the processes. We're going to allow the outcomes to play out as it were. And we make decisions based on our options in the processes. And when the less choices there are, the more I feel less anxious about the outcomes. I certainly want more repeated positive outcomes. But let's start the muscle memory first. Let's start with some wins, some wins, some wins. And then more wins, more wins, more wins. 1 loss, 2 loss, some loss. And we go around and around. So this has been Kenny. Lots of growth with a Monday kickoff. It's nice to be back. I'm here with you from Monday to Friday, pre-Asia. Probably we're going to have to set a proper time for it in the next few streams. But until then, this is lots of growth. We'll see you tomorrow.